So you have an engineer, you may have heard of him, called Henry Ford, who had gotten fired from 3 other engineering jobs because he really wasn't good at the stuff they had. And they put him now in the stupid industry making toys for rich people, these carriages that go with no horses. They're insanely expensive. Well, you know the rest is history, right? He figures out a way to make cars cheap enough and fast enough to be a mass product. Everyone starts buying it. And the cars get better and better and better. They speed up, they get better engines, they don't need a crank. They start getting power steering. And with cars, you now need to have a gasoline industry because you need fuel. And you got to have roads for the drive. And so we now start paving the whole world with highways and concrete streets everywhere. And my God, now you have a car. You don't have to live in the center city. You can now live out in the suburbs. If you live in the suburbs, you can build all these houses, but they'll need a place to shop, so you need shopping malls. But oh my God, they're having all of these accidents. So we need an insurance business. But now that they're out there, they can drive. Well, they could go to the movies, or we could have a restaurant because they could drive 30 miles to the restaurant. So I could have a fish restaurant and there'd be enough people to go. So you suddenly see that there's this giant economic explosion of all of the new ideas that people are getting once you tell them you've got a car. And the 1940s, 50s, 60s are based on everyone building these new inventions and new products based on the fact that a car makes it all possible. Well, what happened is that the car goes stagnant by the late 60s. The last things they put, there's the convertible, which sold a lot of them. They realized it's dangerous, so they stopped. Power steering and power brakes. Then there'll be no more innovations in cars until the 1990s when they invent the SUV. With cars being stagnant, people stop buying new cars. And that gives you the recession of the 70s and 80s. Right now, our society is based on internet, personal computer, software. Everyone went explosive because, my God, I make the computer smaller, it's a PC, it's a laptop. I make it even smaller, it's a phone. I make it smaller and high-powered enough for a lot of graphics, it's a game console. And of course, all of those industries come out of innovations based on that. Well, just as they ran out of industry innovations in auto, they ran out of innovations in steel. At some point, you run out of innovations in software and small-scale computer industries. Remember that steel got saved by a guy in a nutty city looking at something that no one thought would matter. Auto got saved by internet, and internet came from the Defense Department needing a protocol to move large data sets from one university computer to another. How do we do that on phone lines? Oh, we could move it to the phone lines and it'd switch here and switch there. And you could actually kind of instantaneously move the data set. So that's the basis. That's BitNet or ARPANET. There was a couple of different names before it became internet. And then everything else fell from the fact that you can now move huge amounts of data efficiently on phone lines. But you can now see where I'm coming from. When your economy runs out of technological innovation, you're looking at a recession and a depression. There is no guarantee that a big innovation is coming. There is no guarantee that that innovation is based in the United States of America. Whatever country gets it becomes the dominant power for the next 30 to 40 years. If it's China, it's China. If it's Russia, it's Russia. If it's France, it's France. You can now see that if you either care about saving the world from ecological destruction, which is the first thing we talked about, or you want to keep the economy whole, you need to keep innovation coming and technology coming. And a technological edge that was good for 30 or 40 or even a century can run out. Reminder, England was the dominant technological power of the 19th century. They invented the factory. Some cool industrial revolution. We're rich. They invented the railroad. Oh my God, everyone's got to have a railroad. We're rich. The railroad was their last big invention. And then all the other inventions occurred in the United States and Germany. And England turned from the dominant world power to a secondary consultant with an economy that was struggling compared to that of America and Britain and Germany. So the fact that you've always had technology does not mean that this is your entitlement because you're so smart. And Stanford will always crank out great things. They won't. Unless you keep that constant investment in education and research running, your old inventions will run out. And then you've got to hope that a wave comes that allows you to pick it up. So education is fundamental for long-term societal well-being. It's not optional, it's mandatory, and it's one of the biggest things you can deal with.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We appreciate you tuning into that, and we hope you found that helpful.
If you're interested in watching more professors give us a deep dive in some of their areas of expertise, please click on the video below.
And also subscribe right here. We hope you have a good day.
See you in the next one.
See ya.